Who are you talking about? Oh, I don't know. Supposedly they're backing down.
This agenda looks like
Supposedly.
supposedly. When we get it out, let you see it.
That's what I hit, January 3rd.
You believe it when you see it, Chuck? I don't want to discourage you.
Huh?
You believe it when you see it?
Yep, then I won't believe it.
Somebody said?
Oh, yeah.
Concession to age.
That's only the first step.
That's another person I can borrow from when I forget.
There you go. Somebody told me they made me look smarter. I figured I could use all the help I can.
Then I won't ask for it now.
Okay.
You know what I mean, I won't ask for copies.
Where was your correction?
Huh? Yeah, I have a lot. Nothing that would substantively change it, but maybe we want to just get revised ones next week. Can we do that?
Yeah, why don't we do
I'll go
that?
to.
Those are my,
If you have the opportunity to definitely utilize, one is like.
yeah.
If you get the opportunity.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna pass
Yeah,
over the
and
minutes,
it's-
okay? Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. That was just regular, the exec we can do, I think.
I had a few minor. You can look what it is. I wouldn't call any of them
Okay.
substantive.
Fine.
It's just
You want me to do?
making
that?
things slightly more detailed.
What was, how much did you amend a lot? The exact?
Three words, three words.
To
You want to
exec,
see what it is?
to exec as amended.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
nothing. I would tell you.
So
I would
executive
bring it
amendment.
up if
Yeah,
it was
that's fine.
substantive.
Change three words. It's not
It
substantive.
was not substantive.
The other one's more edits than that, so, okay. All right, well, it being 7:30, we'll call this meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The first item on the agenda, minutes. Mr. Muldoon.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the November 4th, 2002 executive session minutes as amended.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Unanimous? We move to item 2, correspondence. Anyone wishing to see or discuss any of the correspondence at this time? If not, you can, if there's an item you'd like a copy of, you can forward it along. Item 3 on the agenda, legal bills for September 2002. Mr. Muldoon.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve legal bills in the amount of $9,015.53 for September 2002 as follows. Copeland and Page, PC General, $6,437.52. Copeland and Page, PC Labor, $2,496. West Group, $82.
Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. Mr. Younger, any comments on legal bills for the month?
Just for the newer members, West Group is the publishing company for the legal books you see with the statutes, those are the updates.
And we're still running on the
Yes.
low side.
We're still running on the low side.
budget perspective. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Unanimous? We will move to, next item on the agenda is a public hearing, so we will hold off on that. We'll move to item 5, amending the constable policy, first reading. Mr. Mulder.
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the first reading of the amended policy 3.3, police constable appointments.
Why don't you withdraw that, I'm sorry, my error.
I withdraw the motion.
The board has the policy, which is our policy 3.3, which is the police constable appointments. The only change in the policy is in item F. There'll be an age requirement. No individual who has reached her 65th birthday shall be reappointed. This was an issue that was brought to Mr. Younger's attention, and that's the purpose of the amendment to the policy. Mr. Younger, any?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Based on the 65-year-old age limitation on the police, what you would have here is also placing some similar requirement on the constables. As you're aware, constables are allowed to carry weapons and so forth, so this would just be putting them in the same criteria as a patrol officer. Questions from the board?
No. I have a question.
Mr. Kelly?
Thank you. Is this gonna, are we gonna be under hardship then, or do we have enough people? I mean, I understand some of the reasoning behind this. At the same time, you know, with the traffic details that are going on all over town, are we gonna be all of a sudden letting somebody go that could be of benefit in certain capacities where they might not be suited at, you know, at that age for other capacities, but they would be able to help us out?
There may be the options of allowing them to do other services, but they would not be the constable.
Okay, so they could, their services could still be used, but not under the auspices of being a constable?
Chief of police has stated that they could have other services, but they would not be appointed as a police constable.
Thank you.
Further discussion. Mr. Younger, Madam Proceed. Do we need to read the whole policy into the record?
No, you need just to read the amendment.
Which I already did. Item F, age requirement, no individual who has reached his or her 65th birthday shall be reappointed. Now,
Mr. Chairman, I move to adopt the first reading of the amended policy 3.3, police constable appointments.
Second.
A motion and a second. Further discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. We'll move on to item 6, which is to amend town-owned land policy. Mr. Younger.
Yes, as we had looked at previously about subdividing these properties, after meeting with planning administrator Mr. Rogers, you cannot subdivide a non-conforming lot to make it even more non-conforming. Most of the lots that you've noticed we've sold off in the past are very small non-conforming lots. So this, by stating in here that you would subdivide, would be technically illegal to do such, because you cannot subdivide a lot to make it more non-conforming. The recommendation is to still keep with the, my recommendation is still to keep with the same policy, to sell it at a minimum of assessed valuation. And it's board's decision at this point. Just as a note of reference, the land that was the Crevada sale up on Swan Pond was not a non-conforming lot. So that was the reason that you could divide that piece out.
It was a special
A special act
circumstance,
also.
which went to town meeting and so forth. So it's not a quote unquote typical sale of town-owned land. Mrs. Bailey.
Just a question for the town administrator, to make sure I fully understand. Is if someone wants a piece of a conforming lot, but taking that piece would then make the remainder a non-conforming lot?
You can't do that.
They can't do that, okay. I just wanted to,
Right.
that seems consistent to me, I wanted to make sure that was true.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Vino.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I guess it's a question asking it the other way. If there is a conforming lot and a person wanted to buy a piece of it for a Title V issue, and it would still be a conforming lot after that was done, would that be okay? Can that be done?
My understanding, you can subdivide a conforming lot, still, as long as it still remains a conforming lot. But I recall most of the lots that we sold off, they've been small little pieces that have been picked up on tax titles or so forth that we just recovered for lack of payment and have not been buildable lots.
Mr.
On the
Vino.
floor? I just wanted to state, like, I still have some issue with this. I do understand the conforming, non-conforming, but I still have some issue with this where it ties our hands so that I don't know if we could help a homeowner out if in fact they definitely needed a piece of property for a Title V issue. And that's my concern, is that the costs they would have to pay if in fact that happened and they had to have it for a retaining wall or whatever it may be. That's all.
Let me just run through the changes again. So this is policy 7.2, sale of town-owned land. And the section we're talking about amending is 7.2.2, provisions applicable to the sale of tax foreclosure property. And the current language, A is property taken by the town for non-payment of property taxes may be returned to taxable status by auction as permitted under Mass General Law, and I will read the rest of that. B, the Board of Selectmen or its designee shall be the custodian designated under Mass General Law. C, the tax title custodian shall comply with all aspects of this section 7.2 of the board's policies and any and all public notice requirements set forth by bylaw, which exceed those required by law when performing the designated role. And then what we're proposing to do is strike item D, which currently reads, the minimum sale price of tax foreclosure property which does not conform to the then current zoning requirements for a buildable lot shall be, when permitted by law, the sum of 40% of the assessed value, taxes owed at the time of foreclosure, fees incurred by the town to dispose of the property, a $350 administrative charge, filing fees and documentary stamps applicable to the transfer of the property, or any minimum, this is the part that bothers me, or any minimum starting bid that the Board of Selectmen deem just and proper when considering all facts and circumstances affecting said parcel, provided, however, that the minimum sale price of said property shall not exceed 100% of the appraised value. And then we're also striking item E, which is the minimum sale price of tax foreclosure property which conforms to the then current zoning requirements for a buildable lot shall be, when permitted by law, not less than 70% of the market value as established by an independent appraisal, including those costs specified in paragraph D above, or any minimum starting bid that the Board of Selectmen deem just and proper when considering all facts and circumstances affecting said parcel, provided, however,